So I posted a picture on Instagram of this doll and people really seem to like her jacket, so I decided to make a tutorial. So for the fabric of the jacket, I have, this is what I use for the original one. It's just this towel I got at the Dollar Tree. Today I'm going to be using a cotton fabric. It's pretty easy to use, pretty easy to find. And then for the collar, I have a knit fabric. It stretches. Actually, that's the cuff because this is from an old t-shirt. But you can use this for the collars and the cuffs. And you can use that for both of these. And if you were to make it out of this jacket, because it's going to be lined, I would recommend you use a cotton for the lining because, as you can see, you don't really see it. I mean, you can kind of see it on the edge, but just make sure it matches. So this is the pattern I'm using. This is one I made myself. Unfortunately, I can't find a way to leave a link for it for you guys. There are plenty online though, like I've seen plenty. Liberty Jane has a great one you can use. I've used it in the past. It's a great pattern and it's free, so that's what I would recommend. If you have your own pattern, I say go for it. Go ahead and use that. This is just the one I'm using that I can't share, unfortunately. So just get to work on cutting those out. So I have all my pieces pinned here. This is 4 layers and the back piece is on a fold. And go ahead and cut those out. So here are my pieces. I have 4 sleeves, 2 backs, and 4 of these front pieces. Also, if you wanted to make this jacket a bit bigger so it can go over clothing, you may want to make the back a little bit bigger. You might want to even use the back pattern and put that on a fold. I just forgot, so we're gonna go with this, but don't do that. I have one of the back pieces, and what you're gonna do is take 2 of the front ones, lay them good side, right there, line those up, pin it, and sew it there, and I'm just gonna show you right here. Take the other piece like that, and you're gonna sew them, and do that on both of them so that you have a total of 2 pieces that will eventually look like, will sort of look like that. Not like that, but you'll see. So here's what they look like after they are sewed. I'm ironing them, or attempting to. My iron isn't really working. So these are the seams where they got sewed. What I'm going to do is flatten them with my fingers, and that will make for less bulk. I'm gonna iron them down, but like I said, my iron doesn't really work. For the cuffs, you're going to want to cut a piece of the knit fabric. It should be cut it about that length so that it is shorter than the actual sleeve opening, or you want to call it, because when you fold, you're gonna fold it that way. When you fold it, and then once you sew it on, it's going to be stretched. Okay, we want that. So for the sleeves, you're going to want to go ahead and trim them a little bit because we are going to add a cuff, and do that in all of them. So you're going to take one of your fabric pieces and on the good side, stretch that. Actually, I'm going to fold it and stretch it. That will be easier. At least I thought it was. You're going to have that there. And then sandwich was in between there. Imagine how stretched it will when I sew it. Sew it across there. So I sewed that, and as you can see, it already looks a little bit gathered. And then when you turn it inside out, this is what we have. Cute, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of pulled. So for the collar, you're going to measure a piece of your knit fabric from here, and because it's stretchy, you don't want it to be the whole length. You want to go all the way from each edge to edge. But see, I'm stretching it so it's actually only about, let's see, probably to about, yeah, maybe about 1 inch. And this, it's folded in half, so it's about 1 inch. Okay, so this is probably the hardest part of the project, but to put the collar on, you're going to start, so this is the raw edge, put that on the edge of the thing. It doesn't have to line up perfectly, but, so this is one of the fronts, and then take the other piece, so that their good sides are on the inside, and line it up, and as you sew, you're going to be pulling this and sewing it along. Okay, so I have that sewed on. Next, what we're going to be doing is, we'll line these up a bit. So from here, straight down to there. You can go ahead and just trim the edges pretty close, obviously not at the stitching, but the more fabric you cut, the less bulk it's going to have. Now we can go ahead and flip it inside out. So to attach the sleeves, well, first of all, it's supposed to be lined up. And obviously they're both good sides, so you can choose whichever one looks better. Starting with the edge and the first point, see how it goes curved there? You're going to line it up and sew it in a curved, direction, and obviously you can pin that so it's gonna look like that. Okay, so here's what we're working with. Now we have an inside. No, that's the inside. This is the outside. So now we have an outside and an inside. This is the inside, so we're going to flip it so that these, and obviously line it all up correctly. We're going to sew from here all the way to here, leaving about an inch. I'll tell you why later. And do that on both sides. Okay, now it's actually looking like a jacket. The reason why we left this part, this is kind of hard to understand. But it's still inside out, obviously. So what you're going to do is there's 2 layers on the inside, right? You're going to fold those, and then you're going to take this end, and the outside, so 2 outside the back and the front. I'm going to take them, and you're going to fold it like this. And then you're going to sew across. And do that on both sides, and I'll show you why after this. Okay, so now, because we did that, the seams, well, most of them, are on the inside. And what that also does is this is the inside of a coat, still inside out, so it doesn't look it. It's shorter, and we want that because we're going to fold all the edges in like so. This is kind of hard to do, looking through the camera. Let me get that set up. So because it's shorter, you're not going to see it on the other side when you sew it by hand. You can loop the stitches like whoop, 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 and you're not going to see it on the other side. So I have a needle and thread here, and basically what you do, let me see if I can get this to focus. Okay, fine, don't. Let's start again. Start by going through the bottom layer. Secure your stitch. This is double looped, by the way. And then go into not all the way onto the other end, but through like basically the first layer of this part. And through it, the bottom one. And again through the one layer of that. So there you have it. I flipped the sleeves and set up by the way, but here's what it looks like. Very cute. I feel like the collar, I probably shouldn't stretch it as much as I did. Oh well. This is another version I had made. I did the hem a little bit differently, but I like how everyone looks. But I sewed a zipper on. Just for decoration, there's no actual zipper. This one, it was like a broken zipper. But I like how it looks. And the collar's a bit higher. The sleeve cuffs are longer. And obviously different colors. That looks like. So you can add a zipper if you want. You can even make it with a real zipper, just make sure to the zipper on it. But like I said, this one is broken, so it's just for decoration. And obviously I have this fur one. I mentioned this, but I did it with lining, with a cotton lining, and with a thicker, it's like this is like a ribbed knit. It's very big and squishy and cute, and this is probably my favorite one. You can barely even see the collar, but it's there. And yeah,